Well, good morning, everybody. Um, I was a little late coming on this morning. It's about 10:02. Sorry I didn't make it on last week. I got a phone call from my daughter's school just about 10 minutes before 10 o'clock. She was sick. I had to go get her and take her home. So I apologize for that. Um, so this week I have lots of things to share with you. So first of all, I just want to share our weather policy. So anytime it is below zero, whether actual temperature or wind chill temperature is below zero, we will keep the kiddos inside. So right now, I'm seeing a feels like wind chill temperature of -4. And so some of our kids are missing out on their morning recess. Hopefully it warms up by lunchtime and we can get them outside for lunch recess. So that's weather policy. Coming up this week, Friday, the day before Halloween, for the first time in the current Broadwater history era, we are allowing kids to wear their costumes. So that is on Friday, but we do have some rules to go along with that. So rule number 1 is about masks. No Halloween masks. Of course, students do still need to wear their COVID-19 masks. Nose. Now, if those are a Halloween theme, of course, that's fine. We just don't want anything covering up the rest of their face. So that also includes no face paint or no face makeup. And then moving on to the next rule, we will not be allowing any props or definitely not any weapons of any sort. So if it's not actually part of the costume they're wearing, they may not bring it. So that includes hats, that includes anything they would have to hold in their hand, anything that they would wear, like a Ghostbuster backpack would be included in that as a prop. So really we just want the clothing part of the costume is great. The additional pieces, we ask for those to stay at home. We're asking for no blood or gore. We have, some students who are just turning 5 years old recently, and we don't know how they'll respond to those kinds of things. So we ask for no blood and gore. And then, of course, everything's going to have to follow the school dress code. So the big ones there are making sure that clothes are not too revealing. Also making sure that there's nothing related to some of those banned topics such as drugs and alcohol. So just be vigilant about what your kids are dressing up for Halloween. And we're excited to see them in those costumes on Friday. What I told kids this morning in the video announcement I did for them was this is an opportunity for them to show us that maybe we can do more of these types of things in the future. But of course, number 1 has to be that we're still able to learn. So that's coming up on Friday. And then after your Halloween festivities on Saturday, daylight savings time, don't forget about that. Make sure your clocks are right so everybody comes back to school at the right time on Monday. Then also just be vigilant about what you're doing for Halloween activities too. Let's see here. Parent-teacher conferences coming up quickly next week, Wednesday and Thursday. So I have sent out via email, also on Seesaw. It's also posted on our Facebook page, and Miss Karen got it on our website this morning as well. So you can go to any of those places, go to the links for your kiddo and sign up for an available time. Those are 20-minute times. They will be virtual via Zoom. Teachers will be sending out the Zoom invites either early next week once we get a little bit closer to the conferences. And if you aren't completely familiar with Zoom, it is a pretty user-friendly platform. When you first arrive, you're actually in a virtual waiting room, so to speak, until the teacher allows you into the conference. So that just helps us keep the confidentiality of each conference secure. So there'll be more information coming home about that. So if you have not signed up yet, please do so. If you're not sure where to go, just go to our Broadwater website. The information is right there on the first page, just underneath our big Broadwater picture there. So thank you to all those who have already signed up. We've got quite a few parents that are already set to go, probably well over 50% of you. So thank you very much. So also on those parent-teacher conference days next Wednesday and Thursday, and also Friday, students will be getting out at 12 o'clock noon. So make sure you have arrangements for that. And that's all students will be released at that 12 o'clock noon time, K-5. So again, make sure you have arrangements for that. If you are in need of some winter clothing, please reach out to me. We do have some other partners that can help us out with getting you things for your students that you may need. So please let us help you if you need it. Also coming up, so typically during our parent-teacher conferences, we have a book fair. However, this year we can't have the traditional book fair since we're doing virtual conferences. So we are also going to do a virtual book fair. So our lovely librarian, Mrs. Hasemeyer, or Mrs. H, as the kids like to call her, has that all set up. It'll run from November 2nd through the 16th. And all of the proceeds from that book fair go right back to her library budget. So that's really how we can make up for lost books. Every year we have a number of books that don't get returned. So that helps us just keep up that inventory. It also helps with some other things that she may like to purchase, just to make things run smoothly in the library. That's coming up. We'll send out the link for that as well. Pictures should have came home last week, I believe. Or excuse me, the ordering information for pictures came home. And yeah, I do believe the pictures came home too. So in years past, Life Touch has just sent home all of the pictures, and then you can choose if you buy them, and you can send the money in, or you can choose not to buy them and send the picture back. But now they're doing pre-order only. However, you can get onto their website really at any time with that Portrait Day ID information and order pictures. So we will also have picture retakes on the 13th. So they're coming back for picture retakes. And then coming up here in the middle of November, November 19th is the end of the first trimester. So that's a third of the year already accomplished. So that has gone by very fast and very well. So thank you for all that. So the trimester ends on the 19th. Report cards will come home December 2nd. Our teachers need some time to make sure that the report cards are complete and all of the good information is in there. And then also in between those two dates, we have Thanksgiving break. So no school on the 25th, 26th, or 27th. Sorry, my phone rang there. I had to silence it. And then just a couple other reminders here. So when it comes to COVID, if anybody in your household is getting tested for COVID, we need the students to stay home until the test results are known. As soon as those test results come back negative, then the kid's free to come back to school. If it comes back positive, then the kiddo will need to stay home until you get information from Riverstone on when they can return. Now, if it is the student themselves that has been tested for COVID, so again, they need to stay home until the results are known. If it's negative, then they may come back to school. If it's positive, we need to know that as well so that we can do some contact tracing here at school and make sure that anybody who may have been exposed to them is taken care of as well. Let's see here. Our sick policy, just a reminder that any kid or staff member with any symptoms So that'd be they're feeling nauseous, they have a headache, runny nose, sore throat, um, a fever, of course, symptoms of diarrhea, any of those things, then they are asked to go home and they may not return to school until 24 hours after all of those symptoms have gone away. So I do appreciate everybody who has been very responsive on answering the phone and coming to pick up their kiddos when we have had to call them. And then moving down my list here, drop off and pick up. So again, just a reminder, please do not stop in the driving lane, in the traffic lane to let your kids out or into a vehicle. Please find a parking spot so they can get in or out of that vehicle safely. Especially, as we're getting into some of the weather we've seen the last couple of weeks, roads get icy. People can't always stop in time. So just to help us avoid any kind of accident, please find a parking spot to let them in or out. Now, if you're coming through the parking lot drop-off zone there, we want the traffic to keep moving through that parking lot. So again, just make sure everything's ready to go. So a quick stop so your kiddos can get out, get across the parking lot safely, and we can keep traffic moving so nobody gets jammed up on being late for school or being late for work. So it's been looking pretty good out there. So thank you. I appreciate that. Back to school forms. So many of you have already completed this, but on your parent portal for PowerSchool, there are forms that ask. These forms have come home on the first or second day of school in a big packet. So they're forms like updating your contact information, which is extremely important, updating media release information, so if your kiddo's allowed to be in photographs or not. Also signing the weapons contracts, information about student parent handbooks. So all kinds of forms in there on the beginning of the year stuff. So we still have quite a few people who haven't done that yet. So please get onto your PowerSchool parent portal, go to forms, and make sure you fill those out for each one of your kiddos. If you're unsure on how to do that, Karen in our office is pretty close to being an expert on it. So give her a call, 281-6207, and she can help you out with that. Also, if you need to drop something off for your kiddos, we welcome you to do that. We actually have put a drop box right inside our front door, which makes it really convenient for you, but also keeps it safer for everybody. So you just need to ring the doorbell, let Karen or whoever's on the other side of that video screen, let them know that you're just here to drop something off, let them know who it's for, and then they'll open the door and you can just drop it into that drop box there, and then we retrieve it right away and then get it to the student. So that's something relatively new. And that is about it for today. If there's any questions, please drop them in the chat box over there, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'll give it a few seconds to a minute here, and if there's any questions, I can answer them. We certainly are looking forward to some warmer weather. We always enjoy the first snowfall, but the frigid cold I could do without. So looking forward to seeing those upper 40s and maybe even 50-degree temperatures later on. All right, I don't see any questions popping in there, so I'm going to sign off. Have a great Monday and have a great rest of your week, and well, I guess the rest of the month as well. Next Monday when we see you again, it will be November. So always, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.